Roblox, we seriously need to sit down and have a real conversation about what is happening right now, because the entire platform feels like it's completely falling apart right in front of our eyes with every single update they push out. Now, in my previous video, I talked about the situation where younger players under 16 were blocked from joining your favorite games, and how thousands of classic games were getting entirely wiped out because of the new Roblox Kids rollout. But today, the missing games and unlocked accounts are not even the main focus of what we need to talk about, because there is a much bigger picture to this. Every time a new update rolls out, it seems to break the core features of the game catalog and cause widespread panic among players and developers who have spent years building their communities. We are reaching a point where you cannot even log into a website for a single day without encountering some kind of break-in error or a massive system failure that disrupts the entire player base, and it generally feels like the platform is slowly collapsing under the weight of its own bad decisions because the people running the technical side of things are constantly releasing broken updates. The main reason why I want to make this follow-up video today is because the company just put out an official statement on Twitter adjusting the fact that classic games were getting deleted out of nowhere. They used an excuse stating that the heavy impact on legacy games was just an unintended outcome of the new global rollout, and they claimed that they're actively working on a fix to restore access to these games. When a multi-billion-dollar company looks at a disaster that wiped out decades of community history and simply caused an unintended mistake, it proves that they're not even testing these updates before forcing them live. They're treating the actual platform like a private test server where they can drop some dangerous code and see how much damage it causes before they're forced to step in and fix it. This constant reassurance that everything is just an accidental error is starting to look completely ridiculous because it happens with every single major feature they try to implement. It shows a complete lack of basic quality control, and it makes the entire community feel like their hard work is being treated like a giant joke by the people who manage the website. Nobody actually believes these explanations anymore because we're watching the exact same cycle happen over and over again, where an update breaks the entire site and the staff just claims they did not mean for it to happen. If you look back at the very recent history of the platform, you'll realize that this exact type of failure happened just a little while ago with the situations around the minimal and maturity age ratings. They pushed out a set and change that required users to complete a full biometric facial scan or upload a government ID just to gain access to basic games that are completely family friendly. This sudden age verification wall instantly blocked millions of casual players from joining harmless servers and caused active player counts across the entire website to completely plummet within a matter of hours. Independent developers who let unsteady traffic to support themselves watched their entire communities vanish because the AI moderation system was locking normal kids out of their games for no logical reason. After the entire community spent a good amount of time complaining about how broken the system was and how much financial damage it was causing, the corporate executives completely panicked and rolled back the facial scan requirement for those family-friendly games. They tried to act like the massive lockout was just a minor technical oversight that they corrected behind the scenes, but the reality is that this actually forced thousands of people to begrudgingly upload their personal information or scan their faces just so they could access their favorite games before the platform finally decided to patch the issue. Now that the restriction has been rolled back, those players are left in a terrible situation because their personal information is permanently stuck inside a third-party database that they never even want to be a part of in the first place. It shows how careless the company has become because they're making permanent mistakes with people's real-life data just to force a broken update that they ended up reverting moments later anyway. And then even after that entire mess took place, they managed to create a brand new failure with the way private servers work that almost destroyed the entire economy of independent games. They quietly rolled out an update that completely changed the rules for private servers by requiring the actual owner of the server to be physically inside the game for anyone else to join. The entire reason people use private servers is to have the freedom to jump into a game and share it with their friends whenever they want without having to deal with public players, and certainly without having to wait for the actual server owner to be online at the exact same time. But like Creepcraft pointed out when this happened, this broken update completely destroys established parts of the platform because it instantly kills off trading servers and persistent roleplay servers, while also destroying the ability for players to leave their accounts in the AFK servers and grind overnight. The backlash was so huge and instant that the staff had to completely roll back the entire private server update not even 24 hours after it was released. They stepped in and claimed they were just trying to address something called usage abuse, but that excuse makes zero sense when they admitted the update caused unintended disruptions to perfectly legitimate private server setups. This second failure proved that the platform is completely unstable right now because they're dropping platform breaking bugs that ruin paid features and then scrambling to undo them a day later. Every single time they release a new update, they end up breaking something that used to work perfectly, and the website feels like it's gently falling apart with each new failure. The community cannot trust the platform anymore because we know that the next routine update could easily wipe out our favorite games or break a paid feature overnight, while the staff just keeps telling us that it was an accident. They keep trying to reassure everyone that these massive disruptions are just innocent errors, but you cannot run a successful platform when your main strategy is just making mistakes and reverting them a day later. And it only gets so discouraging to watch unfold because the people who actually build the culture of this website are being forced to deal with a crumbling system that gets more broken with every passing week. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.